Yo guys, what's going on and welcome back to today's video. Today, what we're going to be going into is exactly how you can make 6 figures online using tomatoes. Now I know it sounds stupid, but hold on a second. I've got a whole presentation explaining it all today. It's got something to do with productivity and something called the Pomodoro Technique. So this one here is a ton of value. Make sure you get a pen, piece of paper, a journal, something to take some notes. If you did enjoy the video at the end, make sure you smash that like button, drop a comment down below if you've got any questions, and enjoy the video. All right then guys, welcome inside of the presentation. It all starts with tomatoes. Let me explain. So what we're going to be going through today in how you can make 6 figures online with the use of tomatoes is what's known as the Pomodoro Technique. And for those of you that haven't heard of it, basically the Pomodoro Technique is a productivity technique that you can use to really focus, make the most out of your day, get the most out of your time, and allow you to excel to the next level. Get more done, in a short period of time than most people get done in a day. Most people get done in weeks. Now, as you can imagine, if you implement what I'm going to show you today, and once I've explained this technique to you, you really can use this to hit 6 figures online in a short period of time. It's what I did. Using this myself allowed me to get so much done that it allowed me to really scale to a 6-figure business pretty quickly, and that's what I'm going to share through with you today, and that's what we're going to be going through. So look, how does this all link to tomatoes? Well, basically, Pomodoro is Italian for tomato. Now, just a little bit of backstory. The Pomodoro Technique was invented in the early 90s by developer, entrepreneur, and author Francesco Cirillo. Cirillo named the system Pomodoro after the tomato-shaped timer he used to track his work as a university student. So he was basically the guy that came up with this Pomodoro Technique. So the Pomodoro Technique is probably one of the simplest productivity methods to implement. Like what we're going to go through today, guys, by the way, it is so goddamn simple. It is honestly one of the most simple and easy things that you can go away after this video and implement yourself right away. And I want you to do so. Like part of this is I want to give you guys the motivation. I also want to tell you that, once you're done with this video, go and implement it because this really, really will help you to scale. So the Pomodoro Technique can help you power through distractions, hyper-focus, and get things done in short bursts while taking frequent breaks to come up for air and relax. And now, this all may sound a bit crazy to you right now, but trust me, we're going to go into exactly what it is in a minute. But these are some of the benefits of it for you. So, once you start to understand that, look, it's going to help you power through your distractions. It's going to help you be hyper-focused. It's going to help you get things done in short bursts. Think about it. You're going to be so goddamn productive that you're going to, get more done than all of your competitors, all of your peers, okay? It's going to allow you to scale to the next level. So before we go into the exact breakdown of what the Pomodoro Technique is and how you can use it and how I've utilized it, I just want to give you a couple of quotes. The first one here being from Bruce Lee. And he put, "If you spend too much time thinking about a thing, you'll never get it done." And basically, the reason why I wanted to put this in here was for you to understand, look, you can learn all of this today. I can explain to you today how you can make 6 figures online utilizing this technique. But the truth is, if you just think about it, if you just have watched this video and then you go on to the next one, you don't actually implement anything. If you're spending all the time thinking about it, it doesn't matter how productive you want to be unless you actually take action. So you do need to take action to be productive. Don't overthink things, and go and implement. The next thing as well here is another quote which says, "Being rich is having money, being wealthy is having time." So the ultimate goal here is to have time. And think about it. If we are working and we are being productive in that time that we work, we are going to we're going to have 2 options. Number one, we're going to be able to cut down the amount of hours we actually spend working because we achieve so much more in that time. So let's say you double your workload in the same time. So you get the same amount done in 4 hours as you normally get done in 8. You're going to have an additional 4 hours a day to do what you want. So number one is you're going to be able to have more free time. Or number two, you can actually continue to work 8 hours or whatever it is you work in a day, but you get twice the amount done. It's completely up to you. But either way, I want you to understand that being rich is having money and being wealthy is having time. So the ultimate goal here really is to free up your time. Now, whatever you spend doing in that time is completely up to you, but you really, really want to understand that the ultimate goal here is wealth. The ultimate goal here is time, okay? Okay, and the next thing to learn is you need to learn how to cut down on interruptions and focus. And this is really what the Pomodoro Technique helps you to do. Too many people, like I said, they work 8 hours, but actually if you really looked at how much of those 8 hours a day that you spend being distracted, getting interrupted by your phone, things like Facebook, YouTube, all this other stuff, you're not actually focusing. And what the Pomodoro technique helps you to do is really focus on one task at a time and allow you to be way more productive. So that's really something that you need to understand. So without further ado, let's jump into the fundamentals of the Pomodoro technique. So number one, this is the first thing that you need to do, is you need to choose a task that you would like to get done. Now, this task can be something big, it can be something small, something you've been putting off for a million years. It really doesn't matter. What matters is that it's something that deserves your full undivided attention. So ideally, what I want this to be is I want this to be some of your most important tasks of the day. So before you do this, I want you to take a step back and really look at your business as from an outsider's point of view. You know, don't get romanticized to just going in and working every day and just being busy. I want you to just take a few minutes and a couple hours if you need to, take a step back and look at what is really driving the success of your company. You know, what helps you get clients? What helps you, I don't know, sell more coaching of your coaching, or what helps you sell more of your products? What are the things that you're working on that achieves those best results and the most results for your company? And once you figure that out, ideally, that's what I want you guys to be working on. So when you're choosing a task, you know, I really want it to be something that is going to drive revenue or really take your company to the next level. Whether that is big or whether that's small, it really doesn't matter, but I want it to be something that deserves your full undivided attention. So first things first, you need to choose a task that you would like to get done. The second thing I want you to do is set the Pomodoro for 25 minutes. Now, Pomodoro is basically a timer. So, you know, I'm going to go into in a minute a couple of different options for you to use, but you just need to set a timer for 25 minutes. And after you've set that timer, well, just before you set that timer even, I want you to make a small oath to yourself. I want you to promise yourself that you will spend 25 minutes on this task and you will not interrupt yourself, okay? You can do it. After all, it is only 25 minutes. Every single person on the planet has got 25 minutes. I don't care how busy you are. I don't care, you know, if you're expecting a call from a friend, like everybody's got 25 minutes. Let's say you're waiting off a call from a friend or family member, or worried that, you know, you're waiting on an email from somebody. Look, 25 minutes isn't going to kill anyone. If anybody has to wait 25 minutes, like, it's not going to hurt. Anybody can squeeze it in, okay? And, you know, all you're doing is making a small commitment to yourself that you are not going to be distracted for 25 minutes. You can put your phone down, put your phone in another room if you need to, and be focused purely on that one task for 25 minutes. And I want you to commit, and I want you to make that oath to yourself. Number three, the third fundamental here, is you need to work on that task until the Pomodoro rings. So once you've decided the task and you've set the timer and you've made that oath to yourself, I want you to work on that one task, and that one task only. Do not get strayed away onto another task. Do not get distracted. Work solely on that one task. And as I put here, immerse yourself in the task for the next 25 minutes. If you suddenly realize you have something else you need to do, write the task down on a sheet of paper. So look, especially as entrepreneurs, you probably know that your brain runs at 25 million miles a second, right? Mine does, at least. I've got all these different ideas constantly popping up. I've got all this stuff that I need to do, and my mind runs crazy 24/7. So, you know, whenever I'm working on a task, I always get things that pop into my brain that I need to do, or ideas and things like that. And the whole purpose of this is when those things will pop into your mind, by the way. If you're halfway through your work block of 25 minutes and something pops into your head, simply write it down on a piece of paper and forget about it, and deal with that after the 25-minute Pomodoro is up, because I want you to be purely immersed into this one task for the next 25 minutes. Okay, after that, number 4, when the Pomodoro rings, put a check mark onto a task. So, you know, congratulations, you spent an entire interruption-less Pomodoro on a task. So once you've actually spent the 25 minutes, you haven't been interrupted, you've put all that effort and work into one thing, smashed it out the park, I want you to put a little tick down, okay? Whether that's on a piece of paper. I prefer to use paper just because I like to write things down, but whether that's on a piece of paper, maybe if you use Evernote, or if you use some like Trello or any kind of online notes-taking thing, like a Word document, whatever it may be, just put a little checklist, like a little check next to that task, just one little tick, okay? And pat yourself on the back, because congratulations, you spent a whole 25 minutes focused on one thing. Number 5, after you've done that, I want you to take a short break of around 5 minutes long, okay? So a 25-minute Pomodoro followed by a 5-minute break. And in this break, you can do whatever the hell you want. I want you to breathe. You can meditate for 5 minutes, grab a cup of coffee, go for a short walk, or do something relaxing that is not And this is the key part that is not work related. I don't want you to reply to your DMs, your emails, nothing. You need to relax and do something that's not going to work your brain, okay? And as I put here, your brain will thank you later. I want you to completely disconnect just for 5 minutes. After that, number 6, I want you to repeat the process for 4 Pomodoros, and then after 4 Pomodoros, I want you to take a bit of a longer break. So, once you've completed the 4, you can take maybe a 20-minute break's normally about right, or if you really want to, you can take, a 30-minute one. Now, your brain's going to use this time to assimilate new information and rest before the next round of Pomodoros. So look, essentially, you've worked here for 2 hours straight between your 4 Pomodoros. And think about it, you've worked on one task at a time and you've given that your whole undivided focus and attention. Can you imagine how much work you've got done? And then look, everybody can go for 25 minutes, by the way. Everybody can go 25 minutes focused on one task. And I've put here on the next slide as well, remember, if you succumb to a distraction, even if it is like 21 minutes in, 24 minutes in, 5 minutes into the Pomodoro, if you succumb to a distraction, I need you to reset the timer, because this is where you're really going to learn to improve your focus. There are absolutely no half measures. Do not get frustrated, because consistency will help you build your focus and work ethic. Think about it, like if you continue to do that, and every time you get distracted, if you get distracted 20 minutes into your Pomodoro, you're going to have to reset that Pomodoro when you only had 4 minutes left. Now, after you do that a few times, I promise you, you're going to feel like you want to get annoyed with yourself, but don't. Just understand that you are training and building your focus. It's like if you go to the gym, all right? The first time you go to the gym, you try and lift up heavy weights. It's not going to happen. You have to go in and build that muscle to build up that consistency, build up that strength. And then next time you go in, or a year from now, you'll be able to easily lift that weight that you struggle to lift at the beginning. You train your brain just like you train your body, and you train your focus just like you train your body, okay? There's no different. So the first few times you do it, you might get distracted pretty early on into the Pomodoro, but if you stay consistent with it, after time, you will build that consistency, you'll build your work ethic, and you will boost your focus. And imagine if you keep doing this, imagine how productive you'll be when you put all this dedication into one task. Literally into one task at a time, and you're 100% focused on it, no distractions. You're going to get so much done. And if you break this up over the day and you follow it, you take your breaks when you're meant to, you breathe, you relax, you take time for yourself, to let your thoughts go, and then you go back into the next Pomodoro, you really can increase your productivity and scale your business a lot quicker. Okay, so one thing that you can do here is you can use an app called Pomoductivity. If you go onto the App Store, I've got a Microsoft computer, so if I go into the Microsoft Store and just type in Pomoductivity, sorry, you can get this really cool little app. Basically, all it is a little timer. You create a task. As you can see here, I've selected the task, which was client Facebook ads, and you click play on the timer for 25 minutes. Now, what I really like about this, do you see the two little checkboxes here? You've got a checkbox that says, I will not interrupt myself, and a checkbox that says, I will spend 25 minutes on the task name, client Facebook ads. You cannot play the timer unless you actually tick and confirm them. So what I really like about that is very minimal, but you're actually making a micro commitment before even starting it. You are making a commitment by ticking those boxes and clicking confirm that you will not interrupt yourself and that you will be focused on that one task for 25 minutes. And once the 25 minutes up, you have a little timer go off in your ear, and it's as simple as that. You go take your 5-minute break and you repeat it. It's a simple app, very minimal, and it downloads in like 2 seconds. It's really worth getting it for your PC. Other options, if you can't for some reason download that, there's an app called Pomodoro On The Rocks, which basically does the exact same thing. Or if you don't want to be fancy about it, you can literally go onto YouTube or your phone and just put on a 25-minute timer. Another option you have here as well, this is something that I use every single morning. I use a productivity planner as part of my morning routine that actually uses the Pomodoro technique inside of it. So when you're setting your most important tasks of the day, you actually have a little Pomodoro tracker to the right-hand side where you can put those little checks in every time you complete a task and use that Pomodoro technique. It's very, very helpful. So if you make sure you plan out your tasks and focus on the most important ones, this technique will make you a millionaire over time. Now, look, I just want to make one thing clear. There is no such thing as get rich quick. Like get rich quick does not exist. But if you implement this and you use this technique over time, I promise you it will work. Just think about it. When you're that focused on that many tasks, and let's say you do want to put in a really busy day. Let's say you want to put in an 8-hour day. Like, think about that. So you're going to be putting in God knows how many Pomodoro work blocks focused on one task at a time, these most important tasks that you smash out, think about how productive you're going to be. Think about how you're going to improve your focus. Think about how much more you're going to achieve than your competition, your peers, people in your industry. People are not doing this. That 90%, probably even more along the lines of 95% of entrepreneurs, they have no real plan for their productivity or their focus. They get up and they just hustle and they grind and they work. And you know what? When you're first starting out, you've got a million things to do. You know, hustle, grind, you know, you can probably still achieve some things. But at the end of the day, you really, if you want to get your business to 6 figures, you need to make sure that you're not just working, but you're working smart. You know, working very, very smart. Not just hard, but smart and hard at the same kind of time is the best thing. And using this Pomodoro technique is quite possibly the best way for you to make money online by implementing it and increasing your productivity. So, look, the final thing I want to say here is start implementing it today. As we saw in the Bruce Lee quote at the beginning, it doesn't matter if they're just ideas. If you just think about it, you need to go and take action on this. Please don't be that person that doesn't, you know, you watch this YouTube video and then you go on to the next one and on to the next one, and you know, you'll just tell yourself that you're learning. You're in YouTube university mode, which is great. You should 100% be investing in yourself, and you know, congratulations for making it this far and actually taking the effort to learn about this. But it only works if you implement it. If you just know about the Pomodoro technique, it's not going to do nothing at all. You need to implement it. So if you're going to do some work after this, and I hope, you know, if I've motivated you enough to feel like you want to go and take action, please just try it. Try it for a week and tell me that you're not more productive, because I promise you, you will be. All right then, guys, so if you did enjoy this video and want to follow my journey, please go ahead and follow me on Instagram. The links will be down below, or you can search me at Bradley J. Riley. And if you do want my personal help, you can book in a coaching call or check out my higher level training programs down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Please go and implement the Pomodoro technique.